Good morning, Taft, 6th grade. It's Dr. S here. I have a little lesson for you. This lesson has to do with rolling, so I'm in your book now. So, Standard of Excellence. And I'm on page 9. I'm on the drum side of page 9, and we're looking at the very first exercise called Merrily We Roll Along. I have it written on my board right here, so I'm just going to show it to you. So this is page 9. And when we look at that, it's all quarter notes or quarter note rests. Right? And so it's all quarter notes and quarter note rests. That little Z on the stem means for you to buzz the note. Now earlier we covered the idea of buzzing, and let's go over it really quickly. Okay, so now your author of the book is trying to get you to learn how to roll, and we have some temporary notation. Well, what he's done is put a Z over the stem on some of the quarter notes, and that is instructed for you to buzz the stick like this. Now, if you remember in earlier lessons, I've shown you my drumstick machine. Okay, so remember, this is your thumb, this is your index finger, and the stick bounces. And I called your attention to the back of the stick. For the front of the stick to bounce, the back of the stick must go up and down. What that means is you can't wrap your whole hand around the stick. What you have to do is hold the stick between your thumb and your index finger, just like we showed you in the other lessons. And then you can see my fingers are in this position. They're curled around the stick, but they're not touching the stick. And the stick can bounce against my palm and those fingers. Okay, that's the technique we're going to be using. So now I'm going to throw my fingers out. You can see my index finger, and the place where my index finger and thumb come together, that's called the fulcrum. But you can see I have this index finger extended below the fulcrum. So now when I push on the stick, say I'm still holding the stick, but I'm pushing with that finger. Okay? So now by pushing with that finger, I could put a little pressure on the stick and make it bounce. Now, if I put too much pressure with that finger, I get this. Or if you have your back fingers held around the stick, you get that. Or if you're not holding the stick at all, you get this. Okay, we'd like you to get this. I'm going to do it sideways so you can see what the stick looks like. There we go. Okay, very simple. Now, what I've done is I've kind of changed your author's sticking. And in these measures here, with the buzzes, I have you alternate those buzzes. Right, left, right. The next measure is left, right, left. And the next measure is right, left, right. Okay, so we'll use my sticking right now, and you can decide which sticking really works best for you. Okay, we're going to set our metronome. So it's set on 125. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now, because I've selected this tempo, each click represents a quarter note. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, very simple. We'll put this here so I can hear this. So this is Merrily We Roll Along. Remember, it's page 9, number 23. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's really simple, as long as you can make your sticks bounce. So we're trying to get your sticks to sound the same. Now, when we speed this up, this will create the illusion that instead of 2 buzzes, we'll hear 1 roll. So I'm going to crank up the tempo here. Here's 200. 1, 2, 3, 4, ready to play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's go a little bit faster. 230. Here's 230. 1, 2, 3, 4, play. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So when we play it on the snare drum, the snares on the bottom of the drum, those little wires, help the sound be a little bit longer and helps it blend together. So here's a snare drum version. Start the metronome. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, ready, play. There we go. Merrily we roll along. Take it as fast as you can play it correctly. So that means you're going to start out very slow. And the important thing to do is make sure that your left hand bounces the same number of times as your right hand. We're looking for this kind of sound. Now, I pushed on the stick with that finger to help get rid of that first big bounce, because when the sticks just bounce on their own, we get big bounces going to little bounces. When we play closed rolls, we want the little bounces. So we have to push past the big bounces to get to that. And then when we get there, we stop pushing in and allow the stick to bounce freely. Instead of continuing to push down. Sounds like that. So I'm stopping my downward motion a little bit before the stick hits the head. I'm kind of holding it there and pushing just a little pressure with that index finger. Now, if you can't get the stick to bounce, here's what you do. Now we only do this as an example of how freely the stick should bounce in your hand. So I'm going to hold the stick with the thumb and index finger, and I'm going to throw these fingers out, so it looks like this. So now, when you visually see that your little finger and your ring finger are not stopping the stick, you'll notice how much it bounces. So that will give you the feeling that you're supposed to have when you curve your fingers around the stick. Okay? So this is Dr. S. Keep practicing, and we'll see you next time. Bye.